not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Chronic Gamer. My name is Matt, and this is my final thoughts and redirect for InuYasha episodes 55 through 58. So go ahead, click the link in the description, check it out, come back here, let me know what you think in the comments. If you're currently watching this on YouTube and you want to see next week's reaction video, check out my Patreon. I usually post the early access reactions to next week's reaction videos, whatever is going to be on YouTube next week, within 24 hours of the current YouTube video. So if you're interested, the link is in the description of this video to my Patreon. Okay, so we had some really good episodes here. There are three mini stories here. The first one I liked a lot. It was my favorite Shippo episode by far. He had quite a bit of character development. They called it his first love, but it was more of like a, I don't know if you would really categorize it as love, but he definitely had affection towards that girl, and he wanted to save her from the demon who was pretending to be her brother. And he was badass doing it. It was a low-level demon, but that's really all that Shippo can handle. Shippo's kind of just been like, he's been helpful in his own ways, but he hasn't been much of a fighter in the series. But today he did a really good job defending her and sticking up for her. He was able to really fight back that lizard demon, and he had a lot of cool moves that he used in order to do it. And in the end, it was InuYasha who took him down, but InuYasha was cool about it and made Shippo look good. He was like, oh yeah, you weakened him before I got here, and it was all you, and you saved the girl. And I really liked that episode a lot. It had a lot of good character development for both, especially for Shippo more than anybody, but even a little bit for InuYasha at the end there, because InuYasha is typically the type of person who would have maybe blown up the spot and said, like in the past, he probably would have ragged on Shippo for not being able to finish him off, but this time he took a step back and let Shippo have his moment before he ragged on him later in private, when it was just the group and not him in front of the girl. And I really liked that. That was really cool. Then we had the other episode, which gave us some some character development for Sango and Miroku and their relationship together. Basically, they went after this demon who took away all of the husbands of this village, and it turns out that it was like a beautiful woman, which was like a coyote demon in disguise. And Miroku, of course, you know, him and beautiful women, he can't help himself, regardless of age. He'll go after them, he'll touch their butts or whatever the hell he does. But he was trying to save the woman, but it turns out that she was a demon, or a demon possessing the woman's body. And with the help of Sango, they were able to tag team the demon and take him down, and it really furthered their relationship, which was also really cool. Miroku had to ruin it at the end by touching Sango's butt at the wrong time. If he had given her like a shoulder rub or a nice like gesture instead of just touching her ass, that probably would have went a long way with Sango, and got him closer to actually being allowed to touch her butt, but he fucked it up and touched her butt too early. And unfortunately, they're pretty much where they started before they went on that journey. But it's very clear that they have a thing for each other, although I don't know why Sango has a thing for Miroku. He's a creep in my opinion. I like the guy, but he's a creep. He's a complete fucking creep. Especially when he talks about like having young children bear his children, which is really weird. But yeah, that was a nice, interesting episode as well. And then we had the Demon Tree episode with the Sage, and I forgot their names. I was saying them in my head, and I was trying to make sure that I remembered them, and I pretty much all but ensured that I would forget them. But the arc is over, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, if you want to remind me of their names in the comments, that's totally cool, but I forgot them already. But basically, this demon tree accidentally got a piece of the jewel shard in it when the dude flicked it behind him. And it turned him into a sage by eating the nasty human fruit that it bears. And he went out on like a mission to gather more people to bear the fruit of longevity, which was all, in my opinion, seemed to be a ruse by the tree in order for the tree to gain more power and become stronger and able to move around. So he was like stealing people and killing them and feeding them to the tree. And unfortunately, it happened to happen on the night. It happened to happen. I said that in reaction, but I'm saying it again here. It happened to happen on the night that InuYasha turns back into a mortal. But he was still able to defend for himself. He was able to bust out of that gourd. Kagome and Miroku and Shippo were able to get out of that little village, that tiny village. And yeah, overall they were able to stop the guy and stop the tree, which was using the dude all along, which is not a surprise because it was actually a demon with some jewel shards in it. But yeah, we got to see more of InuYasha's character and how he handles himself being immortal and how he handles himself around Kagome. And you can definitely tell their love for each other as well. And I want them to realize it themselves. Like, it's very clear that Kagome is more aware of how she feels about InuYasha than InuYasha feels about her. But yeah, it showcased that a lot. And I really like these episodes. Like I was saying, these are little tiny mini arcs, but I'm enjoying the mini arcs of this series so far, and can't wait to see more of them. I guess that's why, if you watch my One Piece reaction, I was a little confused starting the beginning of it because the arcs are taking longer than 2 or 3 episodes. I gotten used to 2 and 3 episode arcs watching this series, so yeah, there's quite a lot of them. But like I said, that's by no means a dig at the series. I am enjoying this a lot, and these mini arcs, as long as they're giving character development and stuff like that, I have no problem with them at all. It's when they start to become boring and repetitive and do nothing that I start to have problem with it. But for me, it's not at that point, so I am enjoying it quite a bit. Let me know what you think in the comments section, and if you haven't already, like and subscribe. And until next time, I'm Chronic Gamer. Peace.